The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and welcome to this afternoon's webinar for tactics to take market share in 2015. My name is Suzanne Rosick, and I will be your presenter today. And I'm excited to talk about a number of great topics today with regard to marketing. So before I get started and launch, I just want to make sure for those of you who are attending, if you do want to chat or if you want to leave questions or comments, please don't hesitate to do so. Know that we'll address those at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. Marketing techniques are constantly changing and evolving. Consumers are getting more and more sophisticated about how they are being marketed to. This means, as marketers, we have to stay on top of every technique and trend to continue growing our company's success. A little humor, but probably a little truth as well. We know this is you. We know that there's a lot to do and it can be very overwhelming. We want you to know that we get it. We're in the same boat as you are. So let's get started. Here are 4 tactics that we're going to talk about today to take market share. The first is content marketing. Next will be channel marketing. The third will be social media marketing. And the fourth will be loyalty programs. So let's talk about content marketing. What is content marketing? Content marketing is the process in which you produce and circulate relevant and valuable content to attract, acquire, and engage a clearly defined and understood target audience. Obviously, it's with the objective of driving profitable customer action. Some of these examples would be webinars, reports, articles, and blogs. Why is content important? 70% of brands have employed brand content marketing for advertising purposes in the last year alone. Here's why it's important. It really does 5 key things for your brand. It engages the customer. It creates authority on your behalf. It gives you control over what it is you say relevant to your brand. And it can be repurposed and used in other mediums, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next section. And then also it's shareable. I wanted to take this chance to give you an example of something recently that I experienced. So when we talk about content marketing, I happened to shop in a specialty grocery store, and I know now that on a monthly basis they always have a custom magazine that they've created. And this custom magazine is, the magazine title is actually the name of the company or the brand, which happens to be called McCaffrey's. But what it is it's a magazine that shows you exciting new ways to cook foods, to create custom recipes for foods. So again, it's not like a circular that you would receive that would say, here's a product, it's on sale this week. It's a softer touch, but again, and it creates tremendous authority for your brand, and it presents them as the expert in knowing, what are good ways to cook a particular fruit or vegetable, what is a great way to bake a special kind of cake based on seasonality. So that's one example I wanted to share of custom marketing. But let's talk about how you could get started with custom marketing. There are a couple of things that you can look at. You can get started with educating new prospects. Again, it's not about the sale of it, but it's about getting them to understand either your product or how your product meets a need that they may have, which leads me to the second one, answering your distributor's most pressing concerns. Help to solve a problem they may be facing. Tell a good story. Give your products their own stories. Make the content digestible, and definitely utilize images. The more you do it, the easier it'll become. Let's talk about something that I know is important to all of you, and it's well, I'm going to do this, but how do I measure it? And there are definitely metrics for measuring content marketing. Two different styles. There's an operational way and also then a sales way to look at measuring. So for instance, operationally, I'll give you a few examples. Maybe the number of clicks that you might get to your website as a result of, again, this grocery store having this magazine, leading you back to their website for feedback. And on the sales end of it, you have a great way of tracking. Is that customer coming back to your store or coming back to your brand? Again, using the grocery store example. Are they coming back? How frequently are they coming back? How much are they spending with you? Those are great ways to measure this marketing channel. Now that we've got great content that we're going to develop, let's talk about how we plan to distribute it. That would be channel marketing. What is channel marketing? Channel marketing is the directing of marketing campaigns by different channels of distribution. Some that you're probably very familiar with: direct mail, email, magazines, videos, catalogs, PR. Why is channel marketing important? It's important to market in ways your distributors are familiar with and use. This is a key piece. I will often get a question about advertising in certain mediums, and you really need to understand your audience and the industry that you're in and where they're going for information or new product ideas. Next would be channel marketing enables you to isolate and test your marketing campaign. So if you go to specific places to place your advertising, you'll be able to isolate and test, and I think that's critical probably of everyone, again, to measurement. Channel marketing also enables you to cross-promote among channels to reinforce and complement key messages. I'm going to give you an example, in fact, an example of something that I heard this morning. It was an advertising message that came from the television medium, so it came from TV as a commercial. And it was a commercial for Gerber, and they were introducing a new brand of baby food. And they were creating a contest with this television ad, and they were asking the viewer, how does your baby feel about our food? When you use it, take a picture, post it on Instagram, and from Instagram, we'll enter you into a contest to find the cutest Gerber baby for this particular brand of product. So Gerber was going to several different channels in order to communicate a message and to get a customer to connect with their brand. How do you get started with channel marketing? There are really 4 key things that we should talk about. Identifying the channels where your prospect clients interact, identifying marketing value for each channel, identifying the potential channels available to you, and identifying strategy and implementation of a plan. What do you measure? Different marketing channels have different metrics. And you'll see here on this screen that there are several different channels listed in blue. For example, I'll use email marketing. With email marketing, again, you have what we spoke about a little earlier. You have an operational and a sales metric to look at. So if you're doing an email marketing campaign, maybe you're going to look at the open rate. How many people have actually opened the ad that I've sent out? And then from the sales perspective, you'd look at the total sales volume you may have gotten for a particular product you might be promoting in that email marketing campaign. Direct mail, websites and landing pages would be the second of the channels we're talking about. And from an operational perspective, you could be saying, okay, well, how many unique visitors am I getting to my website as a result of the marketing that I'm doing in this area? And then again, from the sales perspective on that, what is the total number of visitors who became a customer as a result of that web campaign? Again, Going to direct mail, the same thing, looking at operational ways to measure and sales ways to measure. What is the cost of doing a campaign for direct mail? And then again, perhaps what are the qualified leads that I received as a result? Public relations, from an operational standpoint, how many press releases that I actually send out in a given time frame, if you're using, again, PR as a channel. And then from that, how many clips were generated? In other words, how many times was that PR message picked up by a medium, whether it was a printed news magazine or an e-newsletter, for example. And then lastly, in which many of you are familiar with as a marketing channel, would be trade shows. So, how many customers' badges are you swiping or scanning at a show? And then also looking at a sales specific metric and saying how many of those visitors actually became a customer. Giving it a period of time, obviously, for the sales process to take place. Looking back 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to really track and measure. Let's move on to another channel as a segue here. Social media marketing, it's a big buzz. In fact, it's really more than a buzz. It's a huge reality and a huge revenue opportunity for customers today to take advantage of. And what I'd like to do is maybe take a little time now and go specifically through this channel and see how we can use social media to boost our business, our brand awareness, and our customer base as well. So what is social media marketing? It's the process of marketing through social channels in order to gain website traffic and attention through social media sites. For instance, like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Again, going back to the example with Gerber that I used earlier, where the message started with television, there was the Instagram app. Social media aspect that was a part of that entire campaign for them, and it can really be strong for gaining new customers and long-term customers. So why is social media marketing a must? It's definitely time to stop debating whether it is or isn't an appropriate investment. Here are 4 key reasons why social media should absolutely be a part of your marketing strategy for gaining market share. First is brand awareness, and then building customer reach, acquiring customers, and creating loyalty. And all of those key things can be achieved through the social media process. How do I get started with the social media marketing program? Be selective. Be selective with the target audience that you're looking for, and also determine your channel and content strategy. So what's my message going to be once I get that potential group of customers? Is it going to be some sort of a contest I might have, or maybe I want to see my customers with a sort of a selfie with maybe an image of my product. How are you using our product? And then create an implementation plan to begin the process, and you have to be patient. It's definitely not an overnight strategy to be able to build a customer base this way through social media marketing. Once you've created the content and then you've determined the channels that you're going to use to expand that message to the marketplace, to gain that recognition for your brand, then, once you have that customer, how do you create a loyalty program? And why is it important? Loyalty programs are organized marketing efforts designed to reward and encourage loyal buying behavior. These are probably things that you're familiar with on the consumer side of things. For instance, I'll give you a few, let me go back a second, I'll give you a few examples before we get to this screen. A few examples would be the number of times you come back to maybe a local coffee house and they give you an incentive, a simple card to use that's stamped, and you come back and you earn free drinks. It can be that simple, really, to generate a loyalty program, but I think we have a great opportunity in the promotional marketplace because I don't think there's a whole lot of this going on. It definitely takes time to grow your network. For every contact made, every sales transaction completed, you have an opportunity to create a more long-term relationship. So why not reward it? And I think that there's a staggering statistic here that I wanted to share with all of you, and this is according to Inc. It costs a business 5 to 10 times more to acquire a new customer than it does to sell to an existing one. So on average, those current customers of yours spend 67% more than a new one. Definitely a statistic that we don't want to ignore. So let's take advantage of the opportunity. Let's take a closer look. Here are a couple of examples of the types of loyalty programs that you could put in place. A point system. These are pretty basic. When you buy, you earn points, and I think most of you may be very familiar with those kind of programs. And you'll see a couple of examples I've listed: Bloomingdale's, AC Moore, Salad Works, Walgreens. They all do them. A tier system, similar to a point system. It starts with small rewards for joining a program, then increases value of the reward as the customer becomes more loyal. And there are a couple of other examples like Best Buy, again, Starbucks, that also has a great program for extended rewards when you sign up with them. The third is paying for exclusive VIP status. And I like this one personally as a consumer. So while many loyal programs are free, some companies may opt to charge customers to participate in exchange for future benefits, exclusive benefits. Amazon Prime is a great example, and also so is Zappos. I happen to be a loyal Zappos customer. For any of you out there that may be shopping for a product and find it challenging, for instance, to shop for shoes, one of the reasons that I absolutely love Zappos is that after a few orders with them and realizing I could place an order, I could sample a product, and if it didn't work for me, I could send it back. There's no shipping involved for me on both sides of that process. So they want me as a customer, and that makes it easier for me to be a return customer. So I wind up, and essentially have wound up, buying several pairs of shoes from them as a result. In doing so, after a certain number of orders I placed with them, I actually got an email from them that said, "Congratulations, you've become a VIP member. Here's your specific website that we want you to go to for you to shop through now." So the specific website, VIPZappos.com, I log in, and now not only do I get free shipping back and forth on anything that I purchase with them, if I need to return it, but also now my shipment comes to me within 24 hours. So now suddenly I'm being rewarded by getting a more immediate receipt of product that I'm ordering, and I love that. So that's a great opportunity, and maybe you create a separate website that that is used specifically by that group of customers that you designate. And then lastly, there's a premium loyalty program. It rewards customers who spend the most. Develop a program that limits who may be eligible to qualify. So again, one of the examples is the Macy's credit card. And it's a great way, again, to keep a customer coming back and using the credit cards, getting points, and giving percentages off or dollars back. I'll use Kohl's as another example, again, on the consumer side of things, on the retail side of things. When you're a Kohl's customer, you get Kohl's Cash, which is actually money that you get to use. They give you like a time-stamped date in order to redeem that money, but it's just essentially like cash. And for them in particular, they like you to come back like a week and a half to 2 weeks later, so they keep it a close window of time. But it becomes a great program, and customers become very loyal to it. How do you get started with a loyalty program? You have to get physical first. So create a branded card that enables you to track customer behavior. Physical, for the obvious reason that it's tangible. And earlier I mentioned the coffee house card that you punched every time you went in. That's a great example of this. Get to talking. Start an opt-in process for all of your current transactions. Create a steady stream of communication with special benefits and offers only available to loyalty members. Segment out your loyalty member in your email and direct marketing efforts. Share news of upcoming loyalty incentives or events. Want to start on a limited scale? Start with a select target to go after. The next, get social. Social media is an extremely effective way to engage with loyal customers. Once you've selected the right social media platform, you have built your presence with engaging content and posts. Create options for sharing and referring. And I'll give you actually another example of this. I have a good friend of mine who sent me an email, and it was an email to invite me to a new service, and it was called Next. And Next is an app that you can go on, Next Issue, that you can go on and you can subscribe on a monthly basis to digital versions of magazines. So her passing along my email address to Next Issues gives her an opportunity now to get a month or two of free subscription, where it would normally be $9.95 a month, and to get me started on a subscription to entice me as a potential new customer. They were offering me a 60-day free trial, which again, it was a fantastic way to get me in and get me started and set up on a monthly subscription as a new customer. So there are a lot of great examples of loyalty programs, and again, this is an area where many of our industry suppliers aren't taking as much of advantage of. So that gives a great opportunity for those of you who begin to start them. So let's look at how you measure. How do you measure a loyalty program? I think there are really three key ways. A customer retention rate, how long a customer will stay with you. And this is something, you need to establish a mechanism with which to continue to measure this information. Negative churn. How many customers leave your business over a period of time? And again, continuing to review and evaluate. Customer satisfaction. What's the likelihood your customer would recommend you? And I think, again, this goes to my previous example about Next Issue. They're now going to be able to see if that loyal customer was able to get them a new customer. Did you know, this is an important fact that I'd like to share with you as well as it relates to loyalty programs. There's a 5% increase in customer retention, which can lead to a 25 to 100% increase in profit for your company. It's a huge, huge revenue opportunity and customer base building opportunity for you. So, in closing, how can you stand out this year? I know, again, we went over a lot of tactics here, four key tactics, and there are so many elements to each of these. We'd like a way to be able to continue the conversation with you. So please, don't hesitate to call me or to call, your ASI account executive, so they can help to talk to you about these new ways of looking to gain market share through custom content marketing, through channel marketing, through social media marketing, and through loyalty programs. Let us help you. Again, here's an email address we can provide. Feel free to email us if you'd like to talk a little bit more about any of these topics or all of them. We're here to help. And again, thank you for your time today. Please know that within 24 hours, look for an email from me that's going to give you a copy of the webinar itself, a PowerPoint presentation. And it's actually going to have more information than what was shared today through this meeting. And again, we wish you the best of luck. with your marketing campaign for 2015. Thank you.